So the Blue Meanie character really got over with fans to the point where in 97, just after the New World Order became a thing in WCW, the BWO, the Blue World Order, takes off. I mean, you're there with Stevie and with Nova. I mean, how did that actually come about, though? Like the Blue World Order stable, because that was really cool.
It was just a matter of Stevie and I were doing parodies. We were the Fabulous Ones where I was Blue Dust and he was Baron von Stevie. Uh, it just evolved. And then once Nova came into the fold, we did Kiss and all these other, parodies and just the natural evolution of things. I did Blue Dust, when Gold Dust was hot. Well, I mean, he was always a big star, but
Hmm.
there's an era right when he had the Intercontinental Belt, and he did a naked promo with the Intercontinental Belt covering him up.
Yep. Hmm.
So Paul was like, "Oh, we're gonna recreate that." So I, did that. So the NWO was the hottest thing in wrestling.
Hmm.
So it just became a natural evolution, and you know, uh, there's a couple different aspects of it. I had always thought it was, me, but then Bubba Ray Dudley was also pushing for us to do parody of NWO. It just came down to what do we call ourselves? I was like, it just New Blue World Order. I was like, blue, keep it simple, Blue World Order, and then we try to figure out who's going to play who, and it just made sense to IB Scott Hall. Stevie's the tallest, so he's Kevin Nash, and then Nova B Hogan. And we debuted November to Remember 96, no, 97, I believe, something like that. No, no, not 96, 96. And I should know the belt's like right behind me with the date on it.
Okay.
But yeah, it was supposed to be one night. It's supposed to be a one night deal, and it became a it was it became a couple months, like 6 to 7 months, and it led to Stevie being in the co-main event of ECW's first ever pay-per-view. And here we are in 2024, and people still, talk about the BWO, and you can tune into, Raw or Dynamite and see a BWO shirt in the crowd. It's just, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a testament to not only ECW for allowing it to happen and trusting in the people who do it, but me, Stevie, and Nova had such a chemistry that anybody else, it might not have worked. But I think the fact that me, Stevie, and Nova were just a bunch of young kids trying to do some stuff, and it stuck. And I I cherish every moment I had to ring with Stevie and Nova because it just felt natural. Like I could do something and like he would, they would react, or they do something, I react, and we just had natural chemistry.
Yeah. Did you ever get like any comments from Hogan or Nash or just like, hey, like what you're doing, keep it up and
Not all at once, but like once ECW was gone and I started working, when I start working in WWE, I saw X Pac and I was like, "Hey man, hope you guys didn't mind the BW." I was like, "No, we loved it," And then you meet Kevin, then I met Scott Hall, and I was like, "Hey man, hope you didn't mind." I said, "No," and Scott would mention that like they'd be on the road and at their show they'd find like a local bar and just go ask them to put on wrestling, and if it happened to be ECW and they'd be watching us. And Scott said he would rib Kevin Nash and say, "Hey, well, since the blue guy is me and he's the leader of the BWO, which there really was no leader, but it says he's the leader of the BWO and he's me. I should be the leader of the NWO just to, give him a little, elbow in the ribs, like, haha." But and then ultimately met Kevin Nash, and Kevin Nash is so cool. Kevin Nash is one of the coolest guys, and he
he
was just
is.
like, "Hey, imitation is the highest form of flattery. You know, it's the sincerest form of flattery, and that's cool. And then I had a buddy who had a local radio show in Delaware. Well, it's like half hour from here, and he had Hogan on. He brought it up. He's like, "Oh, BWO, I love those guys." So we got the blessing, so to speak. So
Yeah.
I think they knew that it wasn't anything malicious. There was the one time they were on Nitro, and ECW came up and they're like, "Oh, what, the bingo hall?" So the very next Saturday, me, Stevie, and Nova as the BWO came out, and we're throwing bingo cards out to the crowd and stuff like that, and a little jab back at them.
Yeah.
It
That's
was
fun.
always done in fun. All the
Yeah.
parodies were done in fun. Wrestlers we grew up watching and respected, and characters that formed us. That's
Yeah.
ultimately, you know, there's at one point when you go from watching wrestling as a fan to studying it for future employment. So
Yeah.
we just became mimics.
Yep. Good times.
Absolutely.